Welcome, good morning. My name is Angus and I'm here with Johan, the technical director at Stolla Grips. Today we'll be running you through how to install your brand new Stolla grips onto your mountain bike. So the first thing we're going to want to do is remove your old grips from your bike. Depending on which brand you're currently with, this could be the hardest part of your process. There should be plenty of YouTube tutorials out there for your brand to help you get your grips off. The last thing you're going to want to do before we begin with the installation process is make sure that your bars are clean and ready for the new grips to go on. One thing to mention when taking your new grips out of the box is the two spaces on either end of the grip. These need to stay inside the grip until a later part of the process. So do not remove these at this point. We'll come to that a little bit later on. The first thing we need to determine is which way around the grips go onto the bars. You'll see your grips have one side that is smooth, one side that is textured. You're going to want to put the smooth side of the grips on the inside of your bars. So these are the sides that slide on first. One thing to note is that Stolla grips could be slightly wider than the grips you are currently running. If this is the case, you're going to have to move your brakes and your gear levers slightly inward on your handlebars. We're going to want to make sure that your Stolla ends are flush with the ends of your handlebars. So a very important part of the design and the function of the grips is the angle on which they sit on your bars. So we've got the grip, which is not a completely circular shape, with the pins at the bottom, but more specifically 10 degrees ahead of your fork angle. Now that the grips are on the bars and in the correct position, we need to tighten the screws that are found on either side of the grips. Cool, we're almost done. So we're going to put our bar ends in and tighten the screws on those. Sometimes the screw can come a little bit disengaged from the mechanism. So just make sure that that's working. You might need to screw it a little bit before you stick it into the bar end, but otherwise it's a simple process of just inserting and tightening that screw. The very last part of the process now is to remove those two spaces that we spoke about earlier, and our grips are installed. We're ready to ride.
Ready to ride.
You mentioned that there's a slight adjustment period for new riders who are trying them out for the first time.
Yes.
How long would you say it is until we start to feel normal on the bike?
Right at the beginning it feels a little bit loose. I myself found about 60 minutes. I felt I'm comfortable with it, I trust it, and it's doing what I wanted it to do, and that is to take the uncomfortable impacts on my hands.
Sweet, okay. So an hour and things should start to feel a little bit normal. We're gonna go hit the trail, and yeah, very much looking forward to this. Thanks, Johan.
Thanks, appreciate it.